Hey, what's going on, guys? Today we're taking a look at the very old and busted Cucuruz Doan's Zaku II here. This is a special release from the movie, based on a kit that we're all very familiar with at this point, the HD Origins version of the Zaku II. It's a really cool kit with all the damage and everything on there. Let's go ahead and get right into the review. Alright guys, so we'll start off taking a look at the box and then we'll get into its contents, but first of all, just enjoy that box art. It is fantastic. We got it in this vertical style. This is the kind of style that they normally do box art in for like theatrical release kits that you can buy like at the movie theater when you go see the movie. So even though here in the US this is a P-Bandai kit, rather than the typical boring P-Bandai style box art, we get this beautiful box art for this one, making the very derpy Doan Zaku here looking quite mean there on the box art. So you got some really just amazing box art here. On this one, the illustration looks awesome. Here on the sides of the box, it's the same thing there with the nice image of the artwork. But on this side of the box, we can see what a painted version of the kit is going to look like, and obviously there you go, it's looking a little bit derpier than how it looks on the box art because it's got that pulled down snoot. It is so interesting how they took like a goofy animation from the original series and turned it into all this, but it looks awesome, obviously with all the damaged parts of the kit. It's going to be really fun to work on. And then of course you can display it with your Gundam. Over here on the other side there's a little bit about the story that's there in Japanese and English if you want to check that out. But I've not watched it yet, I've not seen it, as I've heard it's coming to theaters and like select theaters here in the US. Maybe I'll get a chance to see it, fingers crossed, I'm not sure though. But for now, we can most certainly enjoy the kit. So I'm guessing we're going to have a lot of leftover parts. I don't know if there's all the parts to make just a regular Zaku II with this kit. I guess I'll find out. But then again, you know, if you're buying this kit, I don't know why you would want to make the regular version. I'm sure someone's going to ask, so I'll try to answer that for you in the review portion. Here is the instruction manual. It's very basic. You just got the parts list and the construction. You have a marking guide right here, but otherwise nothing's in color. Well, there's the color guide, but not even that is in color, so it's just a very simple manual here for this one. Nothing really too much to see with that. Let's go ahead and check out the runners. So first up, here is our sticker decal sheet, which you'll notice is quite different from your regular HD Origins Zaku, in that normally this would have all sorts of markings and stuff on it, but in this case, is just a bunch of like color correcting marking stickers, which is weird why they didn't make this as foil stickers. I'm not too sure, but we'll see how these end up working on the kit. But here is what we've been waiting for. Here is what it's all about. The water slide decal sheet that you get with this. Very rare that you get water slides even in a P-Bandai HG kit, but we do have a few water slides on here, not a ton, just some little markings, some larger markings, including some damaged markings there that you can put on the kit. Those should be interesting. We got our polycaps here, PC001 in gray. First few runners obviously all going to be just from the standard HG Origins Zaku II kit. So here's runner A1 in our lighter green color. Runner A2 is in the darker green for some of these parts. Obviously some of these you can tell right away we're not going to be using. Runner B1 is going to be some parts here in black. Runner D is all of our joint parts and everything in this dark gray color, and correct me if I'm wrong, but this D runner is different. Like all the parts look the same, but I don't remember this being one big runner like this, and I've built like a dozen HG Origin Zaku kits now at this point, so I feel like I would recognize if this was different, and it definitely seems a little bit different. So it seems like they took the two runners and put them onto one larger runner. So that's a very interesting, just small change. Doesn't really seem to mean anything, but there you go. Runner E1 is some more of the armor parts there in the lighter green color, still from the original kit. And runner F is some more parts here in gray, hand parts, parts for the torso, and the heat hawk there as well. But then we finally get into some new parts here with the G runner. It's a 3-color runner. You got some gray parts here and here. These gray parts are going to be the softer type for the hoses. You got some light green and a couple of parts of dark green down there. Runner H1 is some new pieces here in black. Runner H2, some new parts here in this kind of grayish blue. And then runner I1 and I2, a couple parts there in dark green, obviously light green here for runner I1. This is that softer type plastic there for the hoses around the torso, and that's it for all the parts. Right guys, so here is the kit all built up, and overall it should be pretty familiar as we've seen a number of HG Zaku kits from the Origin line before. This one though, obviously with all that new styling, is very cool, so I'm just really glad they ended up making this kit just because it's such a unique release. Well, we do have a couple of really minor gripes about it. It's more to do with like what is included with the kit or not included with the kit. Overall, like I said, it's just a really awesome version of the Zaku. If you're a fan of the Zaku II and if you're a fan of this particular movie or the anime in general, it's just really cool cool this kit actually ended up getting made. And so as for our accessories for the kit, we've got our 2 holding hands there. And then we've also got the open hand for the left side and the trigger finger hand for the right side. Although there's not any weapons that you're going to use this for, you still have it included. You can use it with a weapon from a different kit if you wanted, but not with this kit. Because the only weapon that we have included with this is the Heat Hawk, and the stored version of the Heat Hawk you can stick onto the waist, and then the in-use version of the Heat Hawk. Aside from that, all we have here is just the action base and a handful of leftover scrap parts. And just taking a look at the kit itself, I mean, you can see all the different parts here. All the parts for the head are going to be new, and that's also to accommodate the new hose parts for around the head. Those green bits there are an actual plastic piece, and the same thing here for this section around here, and that's a gray sticker on there. And it's the opposite down here on the legs. It's a gray piece with green stickers. So the stickers wrapped around the cables here, they work well enough and they're staying stuck on there. Obviously it would be nice if that was separate parts, would make it kind of easier to paint, but then again, just pretty simple to just mask those parts to paint them if you're planning on painting the kit. If you're not painting, the stickers will work well enough, but in order to create the look of the hosing parts all having missing sections and things like that, I had to rely on a lot of stickers. And just areas like this, where this part here on the front of the leg, this part in here, obviously those parts are supposed to be gray. It's an HG kit, so it's understandable that these stuff like that is not molded as a separate part. But if you do want it to look like how it's supposed to look and like how it looks on the box art, obviously there's going to be a lot of painting required just to fill in all of these spots where it's damaged. And that's how it's going to look its best. Honestly, straight out of the box, it's a fine looking kit, but if you're getting this kit and you're wanting to, you know, really recreate the look of it, then you're definitely going to want to at least paint it. And you don't necessarily even have to paint the whole thing. I mean, most of the colors are fine. You just take a little bit of gray paint, paint in some of these areas that are supposed to be gray, and then just panaline it and throw a matte coat on it, and it'll be a pretty good looking kit as it is. And you have the water slides included in there as well, which is cool. I do like the new version of the backpack here, where it doesn't have the verniers there on the back. As much as I love the HG Zaku design, one of the complaints that I've had about it has been about how the seam line is designed in the arm. This one does fix that sort of. Over here, the seam line is hidden just as a panel line right there, and then there in the wrist kind of as a detail line there. Here on this side, it's a panel line, but then through that like ribbed part right there, that is just a seam line that you're going to have to get rid of there, and it's right through that detail, so you'll have to glue that and then kind of re-scribe out all those little lines in there. Not that challenging, but still I kind of wish that this would have been designed in a different way so that you don't have to worry about that seam line, because otherwise there's not any other seam lines really to worry about this, except up here on the shoulder, again, which is pretty common and pretty easy to get rid of that. Other than that, it doesn't have the seam line here on the leg, which is nice, just a little bit here at the back, at the bottom there. So again, you have this panel line detail right there, but at the bottom that will be a little bit of a seam. But other than that, guys, not really too much else to say about this kit. This is definitely kind of more of like a collector's item kind of kit. It's not really one that I can see, you know, having a mass appeal for a lot of people. It's something that you really want to get because you really like the design of this one. If that's what draws you to it, then, you know, you guys are gonna love this kit. I do just kind of wish that it would have come with some more stuff, just because I know that the weapons runner is something that I'm so familiar with now that I've built it so many times, that the Heat Hawk and like the Zaku machine gun, I know it's just based on the anime, it doesn't have a Zaku machine gun, but I don't think it could have hurt Bandai to just go ahead and throw that in there as well, just to have it as an option at the very least. But again, if you've built a number of these kits, you probably have some extra HG Origin Zaku weapons laying around, because every other kit seems to come with, you know, a couple of different weapon options. So you probably have some spares if you needed to use something else with this one to make up for this one's particular lack of weapon options. That's gonna just about do it here for now for Cucuruz Doan's Zaku. It's a very awesome little kit, and as a fan of the Zaku II, I really like this one as, again, just kind of like a collector's item kind of thing, a quite unique release from Bandai here with this one. So I like it. Let me know your guys' thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you think about the kit? And of course, if you guys are looking for any other HG kits from Bandai or anything else, tools, paints, supplies, all that good stuff, you can check the link down in the video description to USA Gundam store and check out all the stuff we got there for you guys. Thanks so much for checking out the video today. Till next time, have a good one, guys. I'll see you later. Bye bye.